portfolio of Jharkhand and Hemant Soren's government in Jharkhand is concerned. Now, viewers, it's time to shift our focus to developments concerning ISRO, which is set to launch the European Space Agency's, the ESA ambitious Proba-3 mission at 4 p.m. from Sriharikota. This first of its kind formation flying mission will study the sun's corona using two satellites working in tandem. The occulter and the coronagraph will create artificial social eclipses in the space to provide unprecedented observations of solar dynamics. The mission highlights a significant collaboration between ISRO and the ESA to advance space science and solar studies. This launch using the PSLV XL rocket further solidifies India's reputation as a reliable space partner, demonstrating the capacity in handling the complex missions while boosting the international collaborations in the space exploration by our country. Now, in fact, let's also give you the point-to-point detail all about that you need to know about the Proba-3 mission, viewers. What are the salient features? Why is it being so much in the talk right now? Let's also get all the details put up here. This is the launch site. As you can see, it is going to be in Sriharikota. And this is how the launch site in fact looks like. This is the Proba-3 mission that we are putting the emphasis on. Sriharikota in India is going to be from where Proba-3 mission is going to be launched and going to boost India's space exploration efforts. The mission objective, in fact, the objective of this mission is going to be to study the sun's corona in detail. This is the Proba-3 mission that is going to put the emphasis on studying in a lot of detail about the sun's corona mission. And when we talk about the unique feature, viewers, the unique feature is going to be world's first formation flying mission. It is going to be about the world's first formation flying mission that we are talking about at this point of time for the unique feature that the Proba-3 mission consists of. And when we talk about the other payload details, there are two satellites that are going to be weighing 550 kilograms of each. This is the size and the weight of the satellites which are going to be taking part in the Proba-3 mission. And as the picture you can see, the technical highlight of this entire ambitious vision by ISRO is going to be the artificial solar eclipse for up to 6 hours. There is going to be the solar eclipse which is going to be artificial for up to 6 hours, which is the highlight of the Proba-3 mission. The collaboration is with the joint mission by ISRO and ESA. This is the European Space Agency and ISRO's joint effort that the Proba-3 mission is being given the kind of launch, and also now solidifies the collaboration into the terms of the exploration of space and into the kind of details that can be explored further by the launch of the Proba-3 mission. All right, viewers. Now, let's get to my colleague, Belly Thomas, who's joining me live from the ground. Belly, very good morning. Sriharikota is going to be the site where Proba-3 mission will be launched. It is a collaborative, ambitious joint effort by the ISRO and the ESA. What is that we can expect after the launch, and what is ISRO as of now maintaining? How confident is the agency at this point ahead of the launch?
Absolutely, Simran. The launch on the Sriharikota's launch pad 2 was scheduled yesterday at around 16:04 hours, and there was this rocket that was carrying the two spacecraft, the coronagraph and the oculator, which was supposed to be launched at 16:04 hours, was aborted because of a technical anomaly, and then it has been rescheduled to be launched today at around 16:08 hours. So this the ISRO's commercial arm, along with the European Space Agency, is launching this Proba-3 mission for studying the for studying the weather, the weather forecast along with the space research is what we are told. And minutes before the launch yesterday, there was a kind of anomaly that was detected, and immediately they kind of decided not to launch it yesterday, and it was rescheduled to today, because minutes before the launch, the entire system would be handed over to the automation, and from then the automation would carry it. So before that, the final checklists were being checked by the ISRO's officials and the European Space Agencies, who found that it apt to reschedule it today. Having said that, there are also weather conditions that had to be taken into consideration during this launch, because of the trajectory that the rocket would be launched, and the speed in which it would be travel. And this, as you said, it was a precision formation launch. It is being calibrated within milliseconds, because this is going to create an artificial solar eclipse, which would be there for for which the scientists can study about the sun's atmosphere, that is the corona of the sun. And so this is it was very much researched, and the officials didn't want to take any chances, so that everything becomes correct from their side. And that is when the launch was rescheduled to 16/8 today by evening. And the fingers crossed, all the officials are confident that this would be a successful one, and it would lead both the European Space Agency and the ISRO to study the sun's atmosphere, Simran.
All right, Belly, thank you for adding these details. Now, Group Captain V.N. Jha, former IAF officer, is joining me live on the broadcast. Thank you for speaking to us, and appreciate you joining me live on the broadcast. Sir, in this context, it is set to become the world's first precision formation flying mission. That is how Proba-3 mission, which is a joint collaboration of the ISRO and the ESA and the NSIL, is being witnessed. How do you look forward to this launch after the delay? This is happening today at 4 p.m. We are expecting this to be launched. What is your first thought on this, especially after an anomaly was detected in the Proba-3 aircraft yesterday?
Very good morning, Simran. More than an IAF officer, I have been, a scientist in the DRDO in the aerospace field. I've done quite a lot of work in this area. And what we are going to witness today, the launch, is more of an effort of India in space, that is the commercial wing of ISRO, is to launch the European space satellite, Proba-3. Most of the information of Proba-3 that is going to perform is with the ESA, European Space Agencies. But the few that we are aware, you have already mentioned some of the role of this, the satellite, how it is going to be studying the sun's coronagraph and create an artificial eclipse upon its own camera. What is the most important of this particular launch is, it is going to be launched by the PSLV, which is the workhorse for the ISRO. And this is going to be launched in a highly elliptical orbit. That is important. If I may just explain to your viewers. Usually when we send a satellite into the low Earth orbit, ISRO launches it from its ground at certain given inclination, whether it is in the polar orbit or in the equator orbit. At some inclination though, usually it goes to less elliptical formation. It goes to the circular orbit, wherein it remains in the low Earth orbit or the medium Earth orbit. But these satellites, like the one which is going to be launched of the European Space Agency, or any other satellite which is going to beyond the Earth, say like Moon or Mars. These are injected into the highly elliptical orbit. What happens? The elliptical orbit is something where the nearest point and the farthest point are not the same, not at the same altitude. Periapsis or the apoapsis, both are entirely different. In this case, the farthest point is going to be about 60,000 kilometers, and when it comes close to the Earth, it comes to about 600 kilometers from the Earth's surface. So this 600 into 60,000 kilometers gives a benefit. What happens? It is going to be launched at certain, say, inclination. When the Earth rotates, with this inclination happening, as the satellite keeps on going up and up, it remains in the line of that nation. Now, European Space Agency is going to launch it. So most probably their center may be either in Britain or France or some other country, which is at the higher latitude of the Earth. It is going to remain in contact with that nation for a fairly long time. Elliptical orbit takes anything from 8 to 12 hours for the entire orbit to be completed. So once it is going to be launched, once it is going to be in the apoapsis format, in the apoapsis further away, there it will remain aligned with that control center for fairly long time. It will be in the direct line of axis. And then the two satellites are going to be in formation. Like, we see the aircraft going in a formation. Whatever formation it goes there, the distance, separation, altitude from the Earth, all these remain identical by and large all through its formation flying. Now, in this case, we may call it formation flying. Otherwise, it is going to be injected into the formation orbit. The two will be separated initially at about 150 odd meters separation. And in that separation, when one particular satellite, which is going to create the eclipse onto the other, will be in front of the sun, and that shadow created onto the satellite, which is going to study the coronagraph, will be blanking the entire sun, leaving the corona, say, visible to the lens. And that is when it is going to study the corona of the sun. Similar studies are happening in many other satellites, which may be either in the orbit or it may be beyond the Earth's orbit. Like we also have sent some of the satellites which is not in the Earth orbit, somewhere else, and which is studying 24/7 without any blinking. So all those events, what is happening on the Earth. So this particular satellite also, in the combination, one will be creating a shadow onto the satellite which is behind coronagraph. So in that formation, it will be a disk type of satellite shadow, which will be blanking the sun and leaving the corona apart. And then, since in space there is no atmosphere, there will be no loss of any information or any sort of input from the sun's sensors of the satellite, which will be lost. So all those information will be gathered, and as it is being gathered, it will also be in line with the satellite center of the European Space Agency, which will collect those informations and seek any other information also at that time for those about, say, 8 hours or so, 8 to 9 hours, when it will be aligned with that particular area of the Europe. So this is a new sort of experimental flying that European Space Agency is doing with it. We also call it a Molniya orbit. We have got the low Earth orbit, we have got the circular orbit, we have other orbits, few other orbits as well as. This is the Molniya orbit, what we call it, in which it goes to a highly elliptical pattern, and it remains as it goes beyond and beyond from the Earth. Its velocity keeps on depleting till the time again it is being pulled by the Earth's gravity, and then the velocity increases. So it keeps on making those slings. Even Chandrayaan that we had sent, it was in the elliptical orbit, and every time that it came towards the Earth, it was pulled towards the Earth. Some more, say, perigee burn of the motors increased the velocity, and with the sling operations, it continued going beyond and beyond. So this sling operations of the satellite is already known to ISRO. It is known to many other countries as well. And this particular Molniya orbit in which this Proba-3 is going to be laid into this is nothing new. European Space Agency also have earlier worked out many satellites in the Molniya orbit, and they are experienced with this. So this is a new study pattern that they are trying to create. They are trying to create a artificial eclipse onto the coronagraph satellite, which will be studying the corona of the sun.
All
Similar.
right. Group Captain V.N. Jha, in fact, detailing every aspect of the Proba-3 mission and putting it in complete perspective of how important this is and how does this in fact play a crucial role in getting the purpose solved and why is it in fact put in the first place to go forward with by the ISRO and the ESA. Thank you, sir, for sparing the time and giving us the in-depth understanding of this Proba-3 mission. Now, in fact, it's time to move on, calling the Enforcement Directorate and